Welcome to the Mundus Fractura Law Guide. This week on Law Guide, we will take a more in-depth look at the northern plains of Taurterra. The birthplace of the kin Taurus species, Taurterra is steeped in history, from the far eastern lands, known as the Carving Lands, to the far western gateway of the Rise Escarpment, and all points in between. Let's start our tour where most outlanders would, through the western borderlands of the Slowway Hills. Sandwiched between the Midland Wall Mountains and the base or foot mountains of the eminence Breathless, the Slow Hills, and the Slowway Trail that winds its way up from the lands of the Midlands. Are named partly for the winding road that snakes its way up through the hills and forests to the open northern plains, but also because the route is a significantly slower route to the open fields, though exponentially safer than the alternate river route through the Arrow Canyon. Should travelers choose the slow path, they will likely encounter several members of what are known as the Forest Taurus herd. Members of the Forest Taurus are easily recognized by their long, shaggy coats in varying hues of brown and reds. They are friendly people who are often open to trading and eager for news from the southern Western Vale. The Slowway route meanders its way to our first major center of Taurterra, to the fortified city of Slow Fortress. By a wide margin, it is the most multicultural of the Taurterran centers. The city itself is a mixture of single-story wooden structures and sod construction buildings. The Slow Fort is a large limestone-walled keep perched high on the city's central hill. For bolder travelers, the Gen River water route down the Arrow Canyon is a quick straight shot through to the cliffside city of Eynath. However, the journey is a perilous one. The canyon section of Gen River features many rapids of Class 3 and higher, and several small waterfalls. Should you survive the journey through skill, careful planning, portaging, and luck, you will arrive at the trading port of Eynath. This multi-tiered city, also known as the City of Lifts, is primarily built directly into the eastern rocky cliffs of the river. The city stands as an important intermediary hub between Taurterra and the Infra's trading port at the river's surface termination at Gen Well. Moving east of Eynath, we come to the Fieldflower Grass Sea. This expansive rolling verdant plain is home to countless apiarist nomadic tribal herds. The sea is home to a near countless variety of wild flowers, including a great number of, thankfully passive, ambulant flowering plants. There isn't a season when the sea isn't covered in colorful blooms of some description. The area is also widely known for not only its dazzling seasonal color palettes and bouquets, but also for the constant humming chorus of the many insect pollinators. North of the Fieldflower Sea stretches the sweeping expanse known as the Auroch Ocean. As with most of Taurterra, these lands are home to countless scattered nomadic tribal herds of kin Taurus. The area takes its name from the vast throngs of Auroch, both wild and tended. The area is defined by the two Breathless Peak ranges, the Auroch Hills to the south, and one of the rivers of many names to the north. The pastoral nature of this area should not be underestimated by travelers. The tall, undulating grasses of the area hold as many dangers and secrets as they do Auroch. The next major center we come to in our tour is Eldundun, situated on the western bank of Dragonhead Lake, or locally known as Dragonhead Bulge. The city stands as an important trading port and watering hole for the dry midwinter months. It is a heavily treed urban center and boasts a large population of quarry, due mainly to its proximity to the quarry-held lands to the city's northwest. Following the river of many names east, down the section known as Worm's Neck, we pass the farming town of the same name. Then on to the town and bulge known as Worm's Gut. On the far eastern edge of the lake, the city of Wormel sprawls from its banks, far in to the surrounding fields. Despite the center's name, few T.T.R.P.G call this city home. The name having been changed by its sire, a type of regional governor back in the 13th age. Sire Melchik Basuri was said to have been obsessed with T.T.R.P.G culture. The sire renamed many of the area's landmarks during his tenure. As we follow the river to its headwater, we next come to the section known as the Great Tail. This is an expansive floodplain known globally for the production of rice products of exceedingly high quality, including a few magical varieties. The river then bends north to the Bulge and fortress of Harlendal. The fortress is said to have stood since time pre-Lumi and is considered to be the center of the world by most kin Taurus and even the center of the cosmos to some. Unsurprisingly, the fortress and surrounding city is the political, cultural, and spiritual heart of Taurterra. It stands as the region's unofficial capital. North of the Harlendal Bulge, the river holds no singular dominant name as it flows down from the next major settlement known as the Big 40. This bustling community of mud and stone buildings is sometimes called the gateway to the coast, as it is the last major settlement before the Vile Pass through the eminence Breathless. The Big 40 also marks the southern edge of the Wandering Marsh, a vast animal and bird sanctuary established in the 13th age by Matron Hu Sung, 5th matron of the northern Bubalus kin Taurus. Wrapped by the first of our two great rivers of many names is the second of the expansive Taurterran grass oceans, the Ocean of Twilight. Second largest of the open plains, this vast rolling ocean rises in a noticeable dome, slowly gaining in elevation on all sides. At its apex sits the shamanic encampment of the Rise of Twilight, a nexus point of energies and place of healing. The area is a protected holy place and is both a stable magic zone and a place of stability for the psionic weave. Pushing far to the east, we leave the drainage basin of the Western River of Many Names and enter the realm of the Eastern River of Many Names. Dividing the two is a vast expanse of golden-grassed prairie known as the Amber Divide, named so not only for its beautiful colors, as it is also a source of many rare minerals, amber chief among them. The fields also yield large quantities of ammonite and a mineral known as labradorite here on Earth. Now in the eastern drainage basin, the river's termination point is known as the Lake of Little Bones, or the less elegant-sounding Bulge of Little Bones. The city of Jeja, sitting on the lake's eastern shore, acts as a way station and taxation point for the region. Moving east along the river, the first and longest section is widely known as the Main Line. Though the river's banks are heavily populated and frequented by sentient and non-sentient life, there are no major centers along its length, only countless independent towns, villages, hamlets, and thorps. North of the approximate midpoint of the Main Line sits an ancient impact crater known as the Death Swell. The crater is also an active geyser. The waters, though highly prized by the local shamanic order, are not the only substance to be ejected. On occasion, the geyser will spout dry, as it is known in the area. On these dry eruptions, a noxious and deadly gaseous blue chemical mixture is expelled, known as death swell. Elderly mycelium of the region frequent the crater as though the mixture is highly deadly to them. The spores they release on death thrive and become fortified in the blue concoction. Further, the force of the ejected gases help propel the spores high into the planet's upper atmosphere, helping to spread them across the face of Mundus. Leaving the Death Swell crater behind, our journey takes us to the northern banks of the Bulge North, home to the thriving city of Fight Vatten. This bustling riverside center owes its prominence to its proximity to the fertile floodplains surrounding the Bulge North. Known for its advanced irrigation systems, Feitvatten is a hub of agricultural innovation, producing a bounty of staple crops and exotic fruits. The city's central market is a cacophony of vibrant stalls and lively bartering, offering everything from fresh produce to handcrafted goods. A towering clockwork water tower dominates the skyline, a testament to the ingenuity of the Feitvatten engineers. Continuing upstream, we enter the stretch of Merrick, a tranquil section of the river characterized by its wide, slow-moving waters. Dense willow groves line the banks, their drooping branches creating natural canopies over the river. The Merrick is a favored route for leisurely barge travel, with locals offering guided tours of the region's flora and fauna. Keep an eye out for the elusive Merrick heron, a rare bird species that nests exclusively along this stretch. To the south of the stretch of Merrick lies the South Grass Sea, a sprawling expanse of golden and green prairie that stretches to the horizon. This grassland is the domain of several nomadic kin taurus herds who follow the seasonal migrations of wild grazers. The South Grass Sea is also renowned for its periodic silver bloom, a rare event where the plains are carpeted with silvery, moonlit flowers that release a sweet, luminous pollen. Travelers who witness this phenomenon often describe it as a spiritual experience. Following the river east, we arrive at Udarath, a city perched on the shores of the Broken Head Bulge. This ancient settlement is steeped in history, its weathered sandstone walls bearing the marks of countless sieges and restorations. Udarath is famed for its grand amphitheater, where kin taurus orators and performers gather to showcase their skills. The city's artisans are masters of mosaic work, with intricate patterns adorning public squares and temples alike. As the river bends southeast, we traverse the stretch of Sinclair, a narrow and swift-moving section bordered by jagged cliffs and rocky outcrops. The Sinclair's turbulent waters are a challenge for even the most experienced boatmen, but the surrounding scenery is breathtaking. Travelers can spot ancient petroglyphs etched into the cliff faces, depicting stories of kin taurus ancestors and their battles against the elements. At the mouth of the stretch of Sinclair, we reach Lac du Bonnet, a picturesque lake bordered by two cities. On the northern shore lies Lac du Bonnet City, known for its vibrant art scene and bustling docks. Across the water, Pine Falls City sits nestled among dense pine forests, its timber industry driving much of the local economy. Next, the stretch of Roberts, a broad, serene section of river lined with wildflower meadows. This stretch is a favorite for fishing enthusiasts, as the waters teem with a variety of aquatic life. Small riverside villages dot the landscape, their inhabitants living off the river's bounty and crafting intricate reed baskets and boats. Continuing to the south, we come to the Point, a thriving city situated on the banks of Lac Beauséjour. Known for its stunning sunrises over the lake, the Point is a center for cultural exchange, with annual festivals celebrating the region's many kin taurus clans' heritages. The lake itself is a hotspot for recreational activities, from sailing to lakeside feasts featuring freshly caught fish. As the river narrows once more, we enter the stretch of Bosch, a section characterized by its dense, brushy ground cover and numerous hidden inlets. The stretch is a haven for wildlife, including playful river otters and luminescent fireflies that light up the banks at night. Adventurous travelers can explore the hidden coves and discover remnants of ancient kin taurus settlements. Further north, we reach the Bulge of Glenlee, dominated on the east bank by the fortress city of Farbank. This imposing stronghold serves as a defensive bastion and a center of governance for the eastern portion of Taurterra. The city's towering stone walls and fortified gates stand as a testament to its strategic importance. Farbank is also a cultural hub, with grand halls hosting traditional Taurterra ceremonies and storytelling events. To the east of Farbank lie the Taurterra lands, territories governed by ancient Taurterra clans. These lands are a mix of fertile farmland and sacred groves, each holding deep spiritual significance. Visitors are often struck by the harmony between the Taurterra communities and their environment, with sustainable practices ensuring the prosperity of future generations. This is in stark contrast to the northern lands of the Taurterra clan. Its peoples are truculent and territorial, having little patience for the input of outside clans and none for non-Taurterra. Though not a part of the lands of their isolationist neighbors to the north, the cities of Westgard and Jailer, on the southern shore of the Smash Head, watermark the southern border of the Taurterra clan lands. Westgard is noted for its connection to Pine Falls by Taurterra's only paved road, a broad Roman-style highway known as the Erin Way. The road, built in the last century, is often used by traders looking to expedite their shipping times by cutting off the long detour made by the river of many names southwards. Our journey concludes at the ancient Taurterra city of Jailer, located at the easternmost reaches of the valley. This city is an architectural marvel, with towering ziggurats and sprawling marketplaces. Jailer is renowned for its vast libraries and repositories of Taurterra knowledge, while Jailer is a spiritual center, drawing pilgrims from across Taurterra to its grand temples and sacred pools. It also stands at the mouth of the popular Shifting Gap Pass and is known as the Vale's gateway to Mundus Aurum, the coast, or alternatively, the gateway to the Vale if you are visiting from the coastal regions. The northern plains of Taurterra are a land of boundless diversity and wonder, from bustling cities to tranquil rivers and sacred grasslands. As its two rivers stitch together the great nation, so does each landmark tell a story, weaving together the rich tapestry of Taurterra's history and culture. We hope this tour has inspired you to explore the northern plains for yourself and uncover its many hidden treasures. That is all for this time. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for future lore guide shorts, and thank you for listening. Goodbye for now.